everyone, welcome back to those of you that are my subscribers, and also welcome to anyone who maybe is new that just stumbled across these videos. My name is Bonnie, and in the videos that I do, I focus on my husband and mine's struggle with infertility, and specifically with our IVF journey that we're currently in right now. So please subscribe if you haven't so you can stay up to date with that. In this specific video, I'm going to be focusing on the supplements that I have been taking, specifically kind of focused on increasing egg quality, but also just fertility overall. So if you're interested in seeing some of the supplements I've taken and hearing about my experience with them and what I think of them, please just continue to watch this video. Okay, so before I get started with talking to you guys about the supplements that I've been taking, I want to preface this saying that I intentionally did this video before we find out the results of our first IVF experience. So if you don't know, we've already had our egg retrieval and we are in this kind of waiting period for when we will do our frozen embryo transfer in the middle of March. So I wanted to do this video before we find out if it works, mainly because of some assumptions that I know I can have, and I'm assuming maybe other people can have, that, oh, well, if she took those supplements and she was successful, then I must take those exact supplements and I will be successful. And that's not always the case. So I just wanted to put that out there, that if we are successful, yes, I'm sure these supplements were helpful and all that, but it doesn't mean that if you take these exact supplements, you will have the same result. Also, if we're not successful, it also doesn't mean that these supplements are worthless and not worth looking into or not worth taking. So now I'll jump into what they are. The first one, which this could go for anyone who is trying to conceive, anyone who is pregnant, everyone pretty much needs to take a prenatal. So the one that I'm taking, I've tried several different kinds, and I really try to take ones that are more like food-based, more natural, not synthetic vitamins. So this is the prenatal I take, and you can get this on Amazon, and I think it's Naturello. I have been really impressed with this prenatal. Now, it is one where you do need to take 3 pills a day. I will confess I'm not super consistent. There are definitely days where I've only taken 2, but I try to be consistent with taking 3, and it says like ideally taking it with breakfast, one with lunch, and one with dinner, just so you take it with food. And the things that I really like about this one, and if you look it up, I'm going to have the link down below on Amazon as to where you can buy it. And they have a lot of the information on there where you can check it out and just see just the high quality ingredients I feel like that I see in this. It also has specifically for people who have like the MTHFR gene mutation. I have not been tested for that, so I don't know if I have that, but it's something that a lot of people in the fertility community talk about, and a lot of people have been tested for and have found out that they do have that gene mutation. And basically that means that your body is not able to take folic acid and turn it into the bioavailable form of folate. And so if you're taking prenatal with folic acid, or if you're just taking straight up folic acid, your body might not even be able to utilize it. So I personally think that, you know, for me, I guess I would rather take the more bioavailable one, even if maybe I don't have that gene mutation, but I don't know because I haven't been tested. And so that's another reason why, because just in case if I do have that, I want to make sure that my prenatal has that form of folate, and it's basically called methylfolate. And so this one has that. And it also just has some great thing. It has vitamin D3 in it. And it's actually from wild harvested lichen, which I think is kind of cool. So yeah, I just feel like this vitamin has been really good. It has, you know, on the bottle it says no GMOs, no soy, no gluten, and it's also vegan and vegetarian friendly. You can also take these capsules if you wanted to, and they're not like that big. Some, and I guess if you're taking 3 a day, that's why they don't have to be that big. But you can actually just open the capsule up if you want to and put it in a drink, like or on your food or something like that. So if you have a hard time swallowing pills, then that's a great option. I will say that the one I was taking before this, I'll show you the bottle, was this one. And I've seen some people talk about this one before, and you know, and I think it is an overall pretty good option. It says it's made with fruits and vegetables, and it has probiotics, which is great. And it does have folate, but then it says in parentheses as folic acid. So I don't think, it doesn't say anywhere in there that's like the methyl folate form. So I don't really like the sound of that, like I said earlier. But it also, when I took this, my pee was so like neon yellow. And I guess for me, I just kind of view that, and from what I've heard, that means you're probably not really absorbing it very well. So I don't have that at all with this one whatsoever. So that was a big plus for me in that area. They also make a great men's one too, and I'll link this down below. So this is what my husband's been taking. And they also have just lots of great other options I want to try. They have like a fish oil one that I want to try, and that's another supplement. I actually don't have it with me right now, but that's one that I would encourage you guys to take too, is fish oil. And so I think that their brand has a really good option of that. I have not tried their brand because we have like this liquid fish oil that we have in our fridge that we're trying to finish that before we buy something else. So another great thing, and this is specifically what I've found a lot of people talk about for egg health, is Ubiquinol. So this is the active form of coenzyme Q10, I think, CoQ10. So this is the more easily absorbable form of that. And so I was very consistent with this as well, and I still am taking it, even though it's kind of specifically talks about it's good for egg health, but it's a good antioxidant. And so I've been taking this consistently, and I think this is a really good brand as well. Another thing that I took, I'm not taking this anymore, but is royal jelly, and I've heard that this is really helpful for egg health. And so I took this for probably 2.5 months before egg retrieval. I ran out about maybe a week or something like that before egg retrieval, so I didn't get any more because I didn't want to buy a whole nother one. But yeah, so I did take royal jelly, and how I took it was I took it says on here, yeah, 1 or 2 teaspoons twice a day, preferably between meals, on an empty stomach, and with a small amount of water, about 2 tablespoons of water. So you can mix it with water. You don't want to put it with hot water though. So it specifically says do not put it in hot water, only lukewarm, which kind of takes a while for it to dissolve because this stuff is really thick. So I would just kind of put a teaspoon in a little bit of water and leave it on the counter. You know, maybe like after I ate lunch, I would just leave it there and let it just kind of dissolve for a while, and then have it, you know, later in the afternoon, so it wasn't with a meal. And I didn't mind the taste. Some people really don't like it. I mean, it's not like amazing, but it wasn't that bad. So I was fine with it. So another thing that I think is really important is vitamin D3. And this is also something you definitely want to talk to your doctor. I mean, you want to talk to your doctor about all this stuff. But especially if you are low in vitamin D3, if you have low vitamin D. If you don't, you know, I've heard that, you know, it's okay to take about 1,000 to 2,000 IUs a day, and that's not really gonna hurt you, but you don't really want to take a lot of it because you can also have too much vitamin D. So, but I was low about maybe like 3 years ago. I went to have a physical and my vitamin D was low. And so I started taking a liquid form. This is an oil. This is actually an MCT oil. And it's a fat-soluble vitamin, so it's really good, in my opinion, to have it in an oil so that it's more easily absorbable. And you just put drops of this on your tongue, and each drop is 1,000 IUs, so it says 5,000, but it tells you to take 5 drops to get to the 5,000. So I take about 2 to 3 drops, and I'm not really consistent with this every day. I also try to get out in the sun between the hours of like 12 and 2, you know, for like 15-20 minutes, something like that, just to get, you know, vitamin D the natural way through the sun as well. But I will say, so I had low vitamin D, and then a year later I went back for my annual physical, and I had been taking, it wasn't this exact same one, but one very similar to this. But my vitamin D levels were really good when I went back, and actually I went back in the winter time, and so she said that was even better because they were at a really good level for the winter time. So I do think this is really important. Have heard that low vitamin D levels have been associated with people struggling with infertility. So yeah, I think this is a great option. Again, talk to your doctor before you do this, but I think this is a really great option. I got this on Amazon. And another thing is, a lot of people talk about, like, I have low AMH and I have low antral follicle count. So I had seen some stuff talking about taking a vitamin called DHEA. You know, they said it can help increase the number of follicles that you have. And so I actually started taking that for a little bit, but then I realized in my blood work, I was looking at my blood work, and my DHEA was like was like high. And so I was like, I just stopped immediately because, you know, I was looking more into it. Actually, it was just, I kind of flippantly started taking it, which is not a great idea. You always want to like do your research and also talk to your doctor and make sure you know like your levels of these things before you take them. So I did not need to take that because my DHEA did not need to increase, because out of the range that they had, it was actually a little bit above the high end of the normal range. So I stopped taking that. But you know, that is something that I have heard can be helpful for people, but you really want to be careful with it. So I say that with a lot of hesitancy, and don't just start taking it for taking it purposes, but you probably do want to work really closely with a practitioner or your doctor or something like that if you are thinking about taking that specific supplement. I just wanted to mention that because I have heard people talk about that a good amount. So anyway, those are the supplements I've been consistently taking, and a few others like probiotics. I do take those. I'm not super consistent with that, but I try to eat probiotic foods, so like sauerkraut and Bubby's pickles. I love Bubby's pickles. So trying to eat some probiotic rich foods, kombucha, stuff like that. So, but every once in a while I'll take the probiotic pills as well. And also vitamin C. I have this spray vitamin C that's a really good option. I will link it down below because I'm pretty sure you probably get it on Amazon, but I think it's Garden of Life brand. And so I would take that, you know, maybe a couple of times a week, something like that. But yeah, those are the things I've been taking. I would love to hear from you guys. Any supplements that you've been taking or that you've heard are helpful for IVF, and maybe specifically for me, anything that's, you know, I know there's a lot of things out there about what to do for once you do the transfer, and I may do another video about that, but I would love to hear from you guys before I do that, just so I can have some more ideas of things that could be helpful. Again, it doesn't mean you're gonna get that guarantee end result that you want, but I think that these things are helpful just to give your body all it can to be able to hopefully have the nutrients and vitamins that it needs to go through this process. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video and hearing from you down below. And like I said earlier, please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.